Hey everyone. Um, so I saw, I did some research on what happened at the Arizona election fraud court hearing. Um, I saw the videos, like I said before, that in some cases it got out of hand. Um, I'm not going to go into that here. Check my last video and maybe the last two for information on that. But I tried to find the final result of the hearing. It's unclear yet. I saw one video where someone who was actually there in the courtroom said that it went good and that hopefully they'll do a recount. So I don't know. I mean, we'll just have to wait and see. But it looked pretty good. I mean, all the representatives there, and they're like the guy said in the video, keep cheering, keep it up. They see you're angry. Um, and it's all we can hope for right now is that they'll do a recount and that you know everything's the votes on our side. I don't know. I'm at a loss for words. Just at how bad this has gotten, but hopefully this will work out. I tried to find some information on the Wisconsin voter ID laws, and it's ridiculous. You know, I didn't even know this was going on. Scott Walker, he's one of the establishment scumbags who passed this law. Makes it harder to vote. I think I've seen a couple things about the law and still confused by it. You have to I'm trying to put this into words. It said the law required an education campaign that it hasn't funded, and that might not just be Democrats, but also Republicans. And I think Hillary's in it to suppress the vote so she can win, even though it's likely to be a very close race. And Hillary's just trying to cheat her way to the nomination. If she does that, well, I sure ain't voting for her. She gets the nomination, I'll just stay at home. I won't vote for her. Just she gets the nomination, and it looks more likely that she'll get it. Just let her know that. Let her know that nobody's going to vote for her for cheating, for working with these Wisconsin governors and for people all over the country for cheating her way to the nomination. We're not going to vote for a cheater. We vote for someone who wins fairly. We don't vote for a cheater. Yeah, I think you have to prove that you have, like, if you're in college, you have to have this sort of enrollment ID. You have to prove you have it. I think it's a lot harder than it sounds because it seems like they're trying to suppress the vote. And I saw Bernie Sanders call this out, and that Scott Walker's like trying to suppress the vote. And yeah, he is. He's like I said before, an establishment scumbag. And there's early voting going on right now. So if you're legally registered, vote. Make sure you vote for the candidate you want, and make sure you are legally registered to vote according to Wisconsin voter ID law, even though it's strict. Make sure you're following this law so you can vote. You have until Friday to register for voting a week from today, which is Tuesday, April 5th. That is the day that the final voting takes place. Again, if you're registered properly now, go ahead and vote for the candidate you want. Make sure you're following this very strict law. It's very strict. Make sure you're following that law. And if you are and you're eligible to vote, vote. Vote for who you want. Don't let the people try to suppress your vote. Just do what you can, but also, as time approaches, make sure you're following what laws you need to be able to follow the vote. I mean, I can't really say much. I'm not sure there's much we can do in such a short amount of time to change this. There's 3 days, well, pretty much two actually, till maybe the end of Friday. So I guess that is three. But make sure by the end of Friday that you are registered to vote. You're following this law. Do everything you can to make sure you are following this law. This is very important. If you have to prove you are enrolled in like a certain college or whatever, do it. If you have to like prove you're a certain age, you're born in a certain place, whatever, do it. And this might be for certain precincts. Just do what you can to make sure that you are allowed to vote. This is a strict voter ID law. It should not be this strict. It's ridiculous. Like I said, Scott Walker is, he's an establishment scumbag, and believe it or not, he ran for president, and they ran a pretty poor campaign. Shove that in his face if you can, because he deserves it. I'm not afraid to say that, by the way, because they take away the people's right to vote. They deserve to have karma shoved in their faces. That's how I feel. I don't mean to offend, I just mean to deliver karma. Sometimes karma is harsh. Not out of physically hurting people, just telling them off. Just telling them to their faces, Just telling them what it is. Exposing them for their corruption. And what if we know all these government secrets that people have been taken out of the world for? They've been removed from the world. They passed on. If millions and millions of people find out, what are they going to do? They have to let us live. I mean, they can't get rid of us all. They'd have no one to control. They can't enslave us all. They'd have no one to deceive. That's why they're scared. If they get rid of us, there's no one to control. If they enslave us, there's no one to deceive. They're cornered. Make sure you're following these laws, guys. Whatever the laws are in Wisconsin and the voter ID law, and it's beyond ridiculous. Follow this law. It's very important. I know I sound like a broken record, but make sure you are following these voter ID laws. Make sure you are registered by the end of Friday. Make sure you are registered to vote. Make sure you're following this law and you're registered to vote. I know I sound like a broken record when I'm saying this, but it's very important. Look up the law. Look up what you need to do in your county, in your precinct. Make sure you're following every law. Bring a proof of ID. Bring a proof of enrollment. If you're at a certain college or whatever, just do everything you can. You need to do to make sure you're legally allowed to vote. You're legally registered to vote for the party you need to be registered in. It's an open primary, so just be registered to vote then. Preferably for your party in case they change the law in a few days or so to suppress the vote there too. I mean, Arizona's just going to happen all over Wisconsin, New York, California, Pennsylvania, all over. It's ridiculous. But like I said, make sure you do everything you can to follow this law. Everything. Everything. Spread the word about this. Again, spread the word. Tell everybody online. Tell your close friends. Tell your family. Tell everybody. Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, Vine, whatever. Spread the word. Because you can nowadays. In 2016, it is possible for word to be spread so fast, it ain't even funny. But like I said, do it. Tell everybody you can. Do everything you can to follow this law. Make sure you're registered to vote by the end of Friday. And let's give Wisconsin a high voter turnout on next Tuesday, which is Tuesday, April 5th. And let's take our country back. Um, people in Wisconsin, it's up to you to get registered by Friday. It's up to you to make sure you're following all these laws in this really strict voter ID law. Make sure you're following all the rules. Make sure you're legally registered to vote by Friday, and let's give Wisconsin a high voter turnout and prove to Scott Walker that corruption doesn't work in 2016. We're going to take the country back. Alright, guys. Thanks for watching. And as always, to my fellow Bernie supporters, feel the burn.